Beautiful people, how are you all doing today? Hope you guys are well. Okay, this video is about I'm going to be talking to you about permanent residency slash citizenship. I will just mix the two together, but my focus here is going to be permanent residency in two countries. One is Malta, the other one is the Netherlands. Now, why did I decide to talk about this? Because many of you need to know. I have noticed something with international students, and I think it's better I put it here now so that at the end of the day, when they hook your neck, you shouldn't say you didn't know and you didn't see the video. Now, let's talk about Malta and the Netherlands. I want to talk about this again because I realize most of you are moving to Malta. First, if you are applying for a student visa to Malta, understand that it's so hard to get a visa now to Malta and it takes a lot of time. Okay, so before you put in an application, I saw a video somewhere, someone was saying, oh, apply. Before you apply to other places. Do not say, had I known. Now, also understand that student visa to Malta and the Netherlands, they are not the same. Netherlands is 100% guarantee that you will get it. Malta is never guaranteed. Malta is at least 50 to 65%. Now, they are not the same in terms of tuition fee. Malta is cheap, Netherlands is expensive. Netherlands is a high standard country. You already know what I mean. Malta is still a small country. Malta is like an island. Okay, we are not into that. Let's talk about the main focus of this video. My name is Milton, by the way. If you are just joining, please share the video and do not forget to subscribe. Now, I reside in the Netherlands and I talk more about immigrating to Europe and the West. Thank you. So, to get permanent residency in the Netherlands, you have to stay here for at least 5 years. Now, 5 years, you will choose if you are going to get a pass, like the card, permanent resident card, or you will get citizenship. Then, on the other hand, for Malta, you will also live in Malta for 5 years, and then you can get permanent residency. Now, but there are things you need to know along the way. To pass, like to get this permanent residence for Malta, you need to write the Maltese language, and there is something called I belong in Malta. Check that. To those of you in Malta, ask the immigration. They are going to explain to you if you do not know, or read more about it. Then, if you want to get permanent residency in the Netherlands, you basically need the Dutch language. Okay, because like I said, it's 5 years. You either decide if you are getting the card or the passport. So you would take the Dutch language. Now, there are changes with the Dutch language. I will leave all of you to read all of this information from the government website, which is the IND. Read all the details from there and make sure you start learning the Dutch language, even from YouTube. But remember, it's going to be recognized only when you study it in an open setting, a setting recognized in the country. Now, you need to also understand, most of you, when you come here, especially the Netherlands, let's talk about the Netherlands before we go to Malta. When you relocate to the Netherlands as a student, some of you are saying, oh, Milton, tuition is expensive. And that is why I need to inform you that before you come here, ask yourself, can I afford the tuition? How many years is your program? Ask yourself, if I'm here, if I'm studying for 4 years, will I be able to pay? And if I'm coming for 1 year, of course, if you are coming for 1 year, you should pay before you even come here. Those watching my videos already know the process. Now, you need to always make sure you renew your permit on time. Like in my case, for example, because if you do not renew on time, it's going to affect you in future. And another thing is, remember you have an insurance, and that insurance, you are equally, it's under the school that you are studying. If you, like in the Netherlands, if you do not have a job, a part-time job, you are good to go with the student insurance. Once you get a job, make sure you inform your school and change the insurance. Petty things like this will affect your permanent residency or citizenship in future. Now, the most important point I wanted to say is make sure if you renew your permit, because in Malta, if you go in as a student, you are definitely going to be renewing your permit each year. For the Netherlands, they will give you a permit for 4 years if you are coming for bachelor's, but every year you need to indicate that you are active. Your school must be the one. Of course, you cannot escape the system here. And even if something happens and you don't graduate, you can renew your permit again. Okay, and your school will inform the government. Now, for master students, you are going to get a permit for 1 year, 3 months. Let's say if you start your program in September, then the next September it will expire, but they will push it to December 1st. Now, after you finish your study program, you will now change the permit. I'm coming to that. But first thing first, if you do not finish a program, inform your school. Of course, your school needs to know. Then you will need to get a new permit, okay? Or maybe even if you get a 4 years permit, you will still need to inform your school. They need to be aware because they will indicate once you do not go to school or you drop school, you would be stripped off of that document. Now, this is going to affect you. So make sure if your permit is expiring in December, make sure you already got another one before that December 1st. It's expiring. Because if you let it expire, it's going to affect you in future. Now, let's talk about this. If you finish your studies in Malta, you are definitely going to get post-study work visa. I think in Malta it's like 9 months. I don't remember if it has changed now, but in the Netherlands they will give you for 1 year. In the Netherlands they call that post-work visa, post permit or post-study work visa or whatever. What you are going to get after school, they call it orientation year visa. In Canada, they call it post-graduation work permit, but in the Netherlands, it's orientation year. If you check the government website, you should see this. Now, when you finish a school, the thing that you need to use to apply for that orientation year is your certificate. So in Malta, it's the same thing. In the Netherlands, it's the same thing. Now, once you apply for it, they are going to give you for 1 year for the Netherlands. Now, within that 1 year, you can use that permit to do your whatsoever job, odd jobs, or whatever. But remember, for you to stay here after that 1 year, you need to apply to a job that will sponsor you, your visa. That will give you a stay back in year. We are not talking about orientation anymore. We are talking about stay back visa, maybe a blue card or EU something, but it is called a work permit. Now, this work permit, you are going to get it from an employer that can actually give you that document. The list of employers that are recognized and qualified for this are on the IND website. For Malta, the system is not the same. But for Malta, make sure the company is the one to sponsor. So that is what we call postgraduate work permit. Now, you can stay in the country, you work for as long as you want, and then after 5 years, you can then apply for permit. Remember, you need to be legal, you need to do the right thing, you need not to cause problems because they are going to check everything. They will be checking your income, they will be checking your taxes if you actually paid all of them. Because of course, you say you want to belong here. Permanent residency means that you want to stay here permanently. Or citizenship means that you want to be a citizen. So you cannot be among the people if you are not following the law or instructions. So that is what you need to know. It is important that you check all of these details. And like I told you before, language is important. If you must get a Dutch permanent residency or citizenship, you will choose which one you want to take. I will advise you take the Dutch language seriously. It's a bit difficult, of course. You have to pay for it. Sometimes there are maybe free institutions. I'm not certain. Ask around your area. Then, then from there, you can begin to prepare yourself on time while you study. And again, there are rumors that this Dutch citizenship or permanent residency might be pushed to 10 years in the Netherlands. For Malta, it's still the same. So for the Netherlands, well, we hope it doesn't come that way. Maybe they are going to introduce that system or that law and say, okay, it's only going to affect newcomers and not those who are already in the country. We never can tell. But again, remember, everything needs patience. If you are in a rush situation, you cannot actually achieve this thing. So you really need to know what it entails. Please, if you come as a student, you later swap and say, oh, I want to go and ask Aduro. Always put this at the back of your mind that when you were applying for studies to come here, you told immigration that you have the money to sponsor yourself and you have the money to pay your fees. They gave you a chance to come in. Then when you reach here, you now swap and say, oh, I want to go and take Aduro. You will go there, they might give you protection. But in the long run, will you get the paper? The answer is no. Yes, no matter what you want to tell them, because you didn't use the right visa, you came in through a different pathway and later switched to a different pathway. It means you lied to the system. So you have to be careful with this type of things. Otherwise, you may be telling people in the future that village people followed you to the Netherlands, whereas nothing happened like that. You did not understand the system. So you have to sit down and plan yourself. If you are moving to the Netherlands or you are going to Malta, I'm just explaining this because they have a similar system. Okay, if you really want to get their payment, their system is almost the same. So please do not forget this. It is quite important. Then other videos are going to drop and we will talk about other things related to admissions, scholarship. There is a scholarship video that is dropping tomorrow. So please stay tuned and do not forget to watch till the end. Encourage somebody to watch now, because if you are not watching me, you may not know certain things. And the video on our channel, the other channel talking about Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, there is a video there now. The link is below. Click subscribe to the channel and follow for more. We meet again in another one. Bye bye for now.